Hey everyone, RetroTech Chris here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here. So today we're going to be having a look at my visit to VCF East 2021. I've put together a lightning round video as I did for VCF West for you to see some of the offerings that were there. So what we're going to do is first look at my arrival there, and from there we'll go through the lightning round exhibit tour, and finally I'll show you some of the different items that were for sale as well. And from there we'll go ahead and wrap things up. So without further ado, let's get to the fun. So we actually ended up driving to VCF East and stayed at the Twin Oaks Motel. It's a cozy little motel just a few miles from the venue. Here you can see the venue. It's a rather sprawling venue for this event, but it did get the job done. And here you can see a brochure that you can pick up on your way in. And see what I mean by a sprawling event. To go from place to place, you had to walk down some corridors and find buildings. We only got lost a few times. I really enjoyed the exhibits at VCF East, including the nice themes that were associated with them. This was the celebration of the IBM PC this year. And you can see these nice systems here. Several of them are PC compatible or look to be PC compatible in one form or another. Not sure what this machine is here. Looks like a nice system. If you know, comment below. Here you can see a Wang system complete with its monitor and keyboard and case. Very nice system there, and a screwdriver in case there's any issues. Nice little system here, a Recognition tele-PC with a cool little stuffed animal on top as we saw a minute ago. Definitely love it. You can see it running DOS there. Pretty nice. Here's a Chameleon Plus, another PC compatible, I presume, with a box of discs on top. And here is the Vader machine, the Compact Desk Pro. What a beauty. I've never owned one of this vintage, but it sure is a nice PC. I love it. A great PC compatible of the day, naturally. Here we have a PC Unlimited system. Not really familiar with those. Maybe it was a clone manufacturer, or maybe I'm just not familiar. Here we have a Texas Instruments machine, and one thing I really noticed about that is the monitor here, which looks to be an Amdek monitor, if I do say so myself, but maybe there were several other manufacturers that were similar. Here we have a professional computer, and it does look to be professional grade. Look at that monitor and that case. Very nice, a very elegant keyboard, interesting arrangement of the number keys here. We'll take a second look at it, but it sure is a nice little machine running MS-DOS. Here you can see a variety of software and a beautiful Microline 93 printer. Just look at it. Nice and crisp text, a 9-pin printer. I had one back in the day. And this gentleman here actually wrote a program, and I believe sold it, related to keeping pedigrees of rabbits. So you can see him showing that to me here. We popped the case on the Okadata. You can see the print cartridges there. Here we have a Pong system. Very nice. Looks very nicely restored. Wow, it looks brand new. Absolutely gorgeous. And it, of course, is playing, well, Pong. So there you have it. Very nice case. I was excited to see this at the show. Here's a very nice Tandy 1500 HD laptop. And look at the screen. It's got an indication that it has DeskMate on it. How cool is that? And next to it was this materials demonstration. Apparently these are working systems that calculate material information. I wasn't 100% sure about it, but this nice little Toshiba Libretto, I was informed, is a working system to do work. But you can see a variety of systems here that Bill brought. Very cool. Another Desk Pro. Very nice machine. A nice Magnavox. I did mean to stop by after lunch and see it opened up. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance. And here we see an Eagle PC running Toshiba Diagnostics for DOS. And here, I'm not really sure what this is, but it's a cool little looking PC. And here we have an AT&T terminal station. And look at that mouse. Very, very, very nice. And that keyboard, very, very nice system. Here we have a couple of IBM AT style systems. Not sure what the peculiarity is with the case on the bottom there. Can't say I've seen one like that before. Definitely looks a little bit different. Look at that. It doesn't have indicators on the left. It must be an expansion unit of some sort. And a Model M keyboard. And here we have, I believe, is either a PC or an XT system. I can't quite tell from the badge, but definitely a classic. So a very nice system in there. Very, very cool. And here we have one of these systems here, which I absolutely love. And here's a nice terminal display as well. Of course, all IBM themed. This here is a nurse's workstation from what I understand. It's very peculiar looking, but you could see it in a hospital setting back in the day. And here is a Tandy 1000. Just look at it. Love those Tandy keyboards, Tandy mouse, Tandy joysticks, very nice. Another AT&T system, there were several of those, which was pretty cool. And here we have a Columbia system, I believe, and a Mitsubishi laptop with a very cool looking display. Just look at that. I absolutely love the white backlighting on that. And here we have a Commodore Colt. Nice little PC, always fun to see Commodore in the PC business. And here we have a DEC system. Always love the floppy drives on these systems. They're pretty cool. Very nice little system here. This is a really cool exhibit here. This is an Apple Lisa that we see, but it's running MS-DOS. So the concept was, hey, folks got together to see how many different systems they could get running MS-DOS that were not PCs. And here's an acorn. And appropriately, this exhibit was in the PC display, so as a part of that theme. And here you have a Macintosh 2CI running MS-DOS in some form or another. And here we have an Apple IIe. So very cool to see all the different entries that people put in and got MS-DOS to run on. And here's a 2GS. I think this is actually really, really cool. Running a flight simulator under, you've got it, MS-DOS. So isn't that fun? Here we have a Unisys system with an IBM monitor and Tandy keyboard. And over here we have a Compudyne system with a backpack CD-ROM, it looks like. Love the mouse on these. And look at this nice Compudyne literature. These were cool little machines back in the day. A little bit brittle, so this one is definitely a survivor. Here we have an Allen Bradley portable, which is a cool little system as well. Love that keyboard. And a Compaq portable. Very, very nice. Absolutely love it. Here's a nice DEC 486 clone. Very nice, cool form factor, absolutely love it. And next to it, we have another digital PC, which is also a clone. Very nice little system here as well. I absolutely love the crisp display on this NCR system. Unfortunately, it flickers with the camera, but trust me, that white backlight is so cool. Here we have a very nice OS2 exhibit. Love all the literature. Love OS2, such a cool operating system on these nice micro-channel PS2s that you see here. There's another one. There were 3 of these systems set up here, and they're working on getting this one to print. Look at that cool box software. Doesn't it look great? So cool to see it. Absolutely love it. And here we can see they were successful in getting that printer to work. Very cool to see it in action. YouTuber N Commander was at the show. And you can see the exhibit he has here, this Compaq portable that he was able to fix up with his video showing the repairs. Very nice. And he very graciously took me around and showed me some of the IBM systems that were sitting in the middle, including this IBM PC and this very nice PC Junior. And they basically chose a different game to run on each where they could, that showed the system's features where possible. Had some trouble finding a PC Junior compatible one, so we saw CGA there. And here we have an IBM XT286. How common are those, right? Not as common as one would expect. So it was cool to see that here as well. And I definitely had to get a close-up on the badge just to show it. Here we have an IBM typing station. How many of these have you seen in your life? What a cool little system. And next to it is a PS2 Model 55, which looks a lot like a Model 3286 in my book. I had to get a snapshot of the badge there. Here we have a nice ThinkPad with a butterfly keyboard. I always thought these were super cool. Very nice to see. And another IBM ThinkPad as well. Very nice systems here. That one has a CD-ROM drive. And look, it's a PS1 and it's running OS2. How about that? Such a cool home-grade PC to see here at the show. And I had to get a video of these cool boxed items. Here we have an Atari portfolio. Very nice. And here we have an IBM AS400, I believe. Just look at the size of this monster. Attached to a terminal that you see here. And that very nice keyboard. Very, very cool. Love it. Here we have an Amdec terminal, which I believe is also connected to that AS400 with a nice terminal keyboard. And here we have an IBM terminal that is connected to the system you see here. Very, very cool to see all these mainframes at the show, or mini computers, I guess they called them. I can't recall. I absolutely love this Model 70 with that awesome gas plasma screen. Such a nice PC. And here we have another IBM terminal, and look at that keyboard. Looks like a Model F to me. And as you can see here, somebody reeled in a System 34 to the show. This is a monster of a PC. It was good to see one working. I think when I was at West, it wasn't powered on. Here we got to see one working, and I have David Beam with me here, who has opened up the caddy to show all the different floppy disks that load in. Very nice to see. Very beautiful machine. And we also opened up a control panel on the side that you can see here, where you can make some various adjustments. Over here, look at this beautiful graphical terminal by HP. These are just so crisp and clear. I love it. Very nice little system. Next to this HP terminal here with that keyboard I so love that I had on one of my past systems. Absolutely great to see it. And here we have an IBM Model 3286, which I failed to grab earlier. Who could miss it? I had to get some video of it. And another IBM portable here. Absolutely love these machines. Someday I'm going to have one. Here we see a very cool HP tape drive in action. I'm always mesmerized by watching these spin, so we're going to go ahead and pull a tape out here, as you can see, and perhaps load another tape in, and we can watch it spin around. And here we can see the tape spinning. I could watch this for hours. It's very mesmerizing, but alas, we need to see the rest of the show, so let's plan to do that. But boy, is this fun to watch. And you have an HP 3000 micro that drive is connected to. Very cool system. Here's another HP graphic terminal. I absolutely love the resolution on these, as I said earlier. And here it is with the hood popped. This thing is fully populated. Very, very nice. And there's actually spaces for putting in tapes as well. This is not a dumb terminal. It's a somewhat smart terminal. And here's a counterpart to it that is a text-only version. I'm sure the graphics version was more expensive. And here's a nice printer next to it as well. Love dot matrix printers. After looking at the PCs, it was time to head over to the Text Adventures exhibit. Here we can see a very nice Macintosh on display brought by Mac84. There he is. I think I was giving him trouble about something, as I always do. It was good to see him there. And you can see this PC here. I guess the concept is text, adventure, and other games. Very cool. Here's a prototype Mac G5. Very, very cool. So what makes this a prototype? Well, look at this. It takes a CF card. I don't think that was a thing that continued on, but what a cool concept, isn't it? To be able to put a CF card in the back of your Mac. Over here is a G4 Cube. I always thought these were cool, as small as they are. Nice little system there. And next to it is a Macintosh LC575. What a nice system. I always loved these all-in-ones with that nice keyboard. And something else we have to take a closer look at is this beautiful trackball by Kensington. And here we have what is known as the Cursed Mac in a very cool looking case. In the corner is a server for all of these mud games that are being played today. Very, very nice. And here is Action Retro's Mac Clone. What a nice system here. I always loved this in the form factor it was in. Moving over to another table, this cute little Mac Plus was set up. Nice machine, always nice to see these. Very cool. And also in this room was a nice exhibit showing the Weather Channel servers from back in the day. How cool is this? All of these rack mount Weather Channel servers showing your local forecast from the Weather Channel. Who doesn't remember that? Here we can see a nice text display. I guess this is all of what's going on in the background there. Very cool to see it. You can see temperatures and other things being calculated or determined. And there's that nice display. I absolutely love this. The WeatherStar XL. And you can see various boards. I didn't ask a whole lot of questions, but definitely wanted to get some screenshots and video of these very cool machines in this very cool exhibit. Very nice. There's the WeatherStar there. Absolutely love seeing this at the show. Very, very nice. And here's a text scan. Every public access channel had one. Very nice to see this on display. Moving on to another Text Adventures table, we see this nice Apple III working, and very cool, nice machine, nice floppy drives, as well as this IIe as well. Absolutely love the setups that were here and was glad to see these machines up and running and powered on. Very, very nice. And here's an IBM PC Junior. Not powered on at the time, but nice to see. Next is a Next Cube. Look at that cool little mouse attached to it, and here you can see the system itself running chess. This is Matt Goodrich who brought these. He also sells a variety of adapters for different machines, which he was showcasing here. And a little Mac Classic as well over here on the right. And there's one of his adapters that you see for adapting various technologies for keyboards. Nice to see, and I always appreciate folks who make these types of things to keep retro machines going. Here we see some nice terminal systems here. This was kind of the Heathkit and terminal corner. So you can see this machine here testing a disk, very nice. And here you have a nice Heathkit display here This whole table was dedicated to Heathkits, nice machines. In particular, one that I really liked was one that was kind of tricked out a little bit with nice LED displays, as you see there around the buttons, and lots of new boards. So these folks are doing a really good job keeping the Heathkit alive. Look at these new boards that are available, and look at this very nice Heathkit system here. Next, we have a display on scientific computing, and you can see some very nice graphing going on here. On this system, this was by Douglas Taylor. You can see another system here. I absolutely love this keyboard. It's very intricate. And here you can see a DEC terminal as well, doing its thing, doing some graphing. Very nice to see. Here we have some apples with some brain transplants. So we have a 2C here, and there's also going to be a 2E that we see in a minute. So this particular machine is a 2E that has had a brain transplant. Look, it's running MS-DOS Executive. Very cool. And there's some history on it. It was fun to see this here. It has a brain transplant and runs MS-DOS 8088, as well as some other operating systems, I believe, if so desired. It was very cool to see. Here we have a terminal hooked up to this little terminal emulation, I believe, on the left here. A cool little system. I guess it's a Cosmac ELF 2000. Here we have a nice Amiga system. I think the intent here is showcasing Zork. I haven't played Zork, but I think that's what this is. So you can see that here. Has an external floppy drive as well. Nice looking system. And a little Zork trilogy over here on the left. Here we see an awesome exhibit. Look at all of these boxed games associated here with the Text Adventures theme. Very, very nice. This nice little digital machine on the left here that we'll see in a second as well, with that very cool floppy drive that I absolutely love. Very nice to see. And here we have the VIC-20 display, which is super nice. We're going to see here in a minute a very tricked out VIC-20. They did have these systems talking to each other over modem, hence the phone there. Love that Commodore phone. And here we see the tricked out VIC-20 with all of its options and games that can be played. And we're also going to see some floppy drives and controllers and a whole box of games. This was brought by Jeff. Such a cool little machine. It was fun to see it here. You can actually exit directly to BASIC from that there. So now we're in BASIC. Very nice. Printer, floppy drives, tape drive. It's all here. Memory expansion, cartridges, a little bit of everything. And look at this cool case for the VIC-20. It's kind of an expander case of sorts. You put your VIC-20 there, and then you have your expansion unit here, so you can put expansion in, and then you close the lid. How cool is that? Never seen anything like it before. It was great seeing this at the show. And of course, what would a show be without a Commodore 64? You have to have one. Here we have this cool BEOS system, running in monitor mode, I believe, or something to the effect. A nice looking machine, absolutely love it. And here we see a Novasaur computer, which is going to, I believe, be in production at some point. Notice the nice expansion options there that I'm sure people will take advantage of and develop on. Notice the nice graphics. Such a nice machine. And here we can see some hex modes for system monitoring, which is also very cool. This particular system also has a nice case associated with it. It was really fun to see this machine. I love it when people create machines to replicate their childhoods. This is such a cool machine. So looking at what was on sale on consignment, you see a nice set of image writers here and a ScanJet 6100 CSE. I wonder if somebody picked that up. That is a beast, but for $30, it could have been yours. Some toner cartridges as well. There's kind of a grab bag of items, some voice over IP phones, a Model F keyboard, just a little bit of everything that was kind of hanging out here. Some mice, this little Acer PC that you see, just really a little bit of everything. Here was a PC Junior system, which I think was fairly complete. It might have had an issue, I can't recall, but it was going for somewhat of a hefty sum, but I guess if you really wanted a PC Junior, you could have it. Some tape drives, more tape drives. Here's a little Mac Classic, I believe, a Compact Portable 3, which was not in particularly great shape, but if you wanted it, it was yours to have. Some Intel CPUs, a real hodgepodge of stuff here on consignment, but cool nonetheless. A Chromecast item and some fiber expansion cards and batteries and a laptop that has 4 gigabytes of memory. Okay, I guess that's vintage, maybe. Moving on, some Apple devices here, lots of Apple laptops and displays. Yeah, so lots of interesting things on consignment, and yeah, I guess things sold. So more Apple devices here, And I'll just go ahead and do a nice panoramic shot of all the different Apple devices and that Dell laptop that were for sale. But yeah, lots of items. Some Macintosh systems and floppy drives as well. If you needed one, there was one to have. And we have these Mac systems as well, so they were available for folks who wanted them. So lots of interesting items. And then we get to this printer, and I took it home with me. You will see that in a future video. Here are some hard drives for sale that you see here if you need those. A TRS-80, which I think was a really good price. It looks really, really nice. A Coco, if that's what you're into as well. I have one. A laser writer for sale. A TRS-80 portable, if that's what you like as well. Very nice. Lots of little portables and pocket computers. This leading edge, which wasn't in the greatest shape. A Zenith, but if you wanted it, it was available. You could purchase it. It was there for purchase. And here we have the free table. I would have wished known existed. I would have brought some stuff. There were some lanyards here, some food, and some other various items, lots of books and the like. Once again, I wish I knew about it, but it is what it is. There were also some vendors at the show. I bought that copy of Windows. You will see it later. Some MS-DOS stuff. I should have bought that Step Up. This nice trainer board, which I thought was kind of cool to see. And this nice Heathkit system as well. We should show the folks across the way. Back issues of magazines, as well as some t-shirts were available on this table if that's what you're into, and some books. Pretty cool to see. Lots of different items there. And some cables and this nice photo taker of CRT monitors. $3, it could have been yours. This was one of my favorite vendors with all of the nice ISA cards and other cards. Yes, I did pick up a few network cards. Yes, I did pass on getting a couple of video cards, and I am very sorry because I missed them. I wish I would have bought them when I saw them. And I bought some PC brackets for 10 cents a piece. There are some floppy disks available too. I did not buy any of those. And this Pro 83, kind of a cool looking thing there. An Apple II, if that's what you want, $200, kind of cool. Jeff's Vintage Electronics. And there was this little koala pad, I want to say as well. And lots of like connectors and cables, of which I did buy some. And some breadboards, so if you wanted that, that's cool as well. All right, well that's what I had for you today. Hope you enjoyed the lightning round tour. Definitely comment below if you have any thoughts about some of the machines that I saw that I didn't know what they were. There were plenty of those. I'd love to hear from you. And in a future video, we're going to talk about some of the things that I bought at VCF East, including something that I was very excited to buy, which might be sitting behind me. Anyway, I look forward to showing that to you in a future video. In all cases, definitely subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And if you like what you saw today, please give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. In all cases, as always, it's been great having you along for the retro journey, and I look forward to seeing you next time. But until then, bye for now.